But first off, I'm gonna start by saying this. Got it. What's up, dude? Just chilling like a villain right now. And somebody recommended that I would go in here and do the stock suspension on 2016 Glen Helen. So I appreciate to whoever recommended that. I definitely seen that. And so let me know in the comments what other tracks you guys want me to ride with stock suspension. And I'm not gonna tell you guys like, favorite, subscribe, comment, all that shit. Like, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm just saying, like, I actually want to know some different tracks you guys want me to go to. So yeah, don't get it twisted. I've never been that kind of guy, and I never will be that kind of guy. Is that not so annoying how people do that? Oh my gosh. Like, dude, people know how to like and subscribe and favorite and comment. People already know how to do that. You ain't got to tell them. Come on now. Anyways, yeah, I got full-blown stock suspension on this biatch right now, so, whoa, yeah, that is not what I was expecting to happen right there. Had a little Ryan Villapoto moment, but we're going to see. I'm not really sure what stock suspension will do on this roughness, but I ain't scared. I ain't worried, bro. I can do anything with stock suspension. So, remember, this is just stock suspension. This is not stock brakes. This is not stock rider mass distribution. This is not stock vertical spring and whatever all that other crap is. This is strictly just the shock, and the fork is all on 50. So that's what these videos are all about. Whoa, Betsy. I'm gonna go in there and see if I can do a video where it's like stock brakes and then stock, you know, like a bunch of different kind of stuff like that. And I got that idea from a lot of you guys in the comments, so I definitely appreciate that. So yeah, what I'm noticing right now is it's, oh, whoa, yeah, we're coming up just a little bit short. Let's see if I can actually focus in this video and not talk too much. So I think that what you'll notice with stock suspension is you just have to land everything really perfect. That's basically the only difference. And when you're a pro, you're already so used to landing everything so perfect that it's not that big of a deal. But, like, you know, if I was over jumping stuff by an inch or coming up short an inch, then you're just going to notice it a little bit more with stock suspension. But that's why I feel like that's another reason why stock suspension is so good for a beginner, because they're learning to, like, have to land stuff perfectly. You know, it's almost like riding a 125 in real life. I think that's the best bike to learn everything on, because you've got to really know how to shift gears with the 125. You've got to know how to lean on the bike to get it to do what you want it to do. And if you can hit it on a 125, you can hit it on pretty much anything. So it's kind of the same mentality where it's, you don't want any negative thing that you don't realize is happening. You don't want that to happen on the bike. So that's why you start with stock suspension. I mean, that's why it's so important, because it's not negatively affecting you in any way, and it may not be positively affecting you in any way. It's the best suspension for all situations. So that's an important thing. And another thing is, like, you know, if you're trying to get really good on some type of track out there, oh, let's see if we can hammer it. Whoa, I couldn't even get on my brakes. But that's, like, it's really good to practice on whatever kind of tracks you're going to be racing on. That's a really important thing. You probably wouldn't think that. Like, most people just probably wouldn't think that for whatever reason. They would probably just think that, oh, I can go over here and ride on a supercross track and then come over here and do a pro race on a motocross track. But it really doesn't work like that, because your brain gets very used to whatever it's riding on. And I'll even go as far as to say whatever year of supercross track you're riding on. You know, you can get, like, really used to that year and really accustomed to that year. So you don't want to just spend all your time on 1 year of supercross tracks, or you're never going to get good. You've really got to get a wide variety of stuff, and it's better to actually be practicing on the closest thing you can find to whatever it is you're going to be racing on. That's why whenever a new track comes out that there's going to be like a pro race on or whatever, it's better to just throw in 1,000 laps on that track than it is to go over here and ride on all these other tracks, because you're not getting used to that certain kind of track. I'm telling you, it's a super big deal, because that's really what separates a pro and like a super pro, I guess you could call them, where they're like the top 3 dudes, separating those from the other 40. What does it is they've gotten so used to that particular track, and they've found the hot lines wherever it is. It's hot lines are not easy to find on tracks sometimes, and sometimes that can be the difference in, you know, setting 30th in qualifying and setting 5th in qualifying. I mean, it's crazy how it is. So if you find yourself getting horrible lap times on some track, don't give up on it. You know what I mean? Don't get so upset about it, because it may not even be your speed so much. It may just be you're not hitting whatever kind of line out there, and that I'm telling you, it makes a humongous difference. And just being able to keep your flow all the way around the track, oh my gosh, dude, that does wonders for a lap time. I don't know why it does that, but like, you can't just go hard in one corner, you know what I mean? You got to go hard all the way around the track to get those sort of lap times like that. And sometimes you just kind of get them on accident too. But yeah, so the stock suspension, I mean, you can see I'm getting around the track. It's not like can't even get around the track or anything like that, and I'm goofing off, just barely looking at the screen trying to talk. So but yeah, that's a weird little bump off of that jump. But let's see if I can just try to run a bit of a lap here. Okay, whoa. This 2016 Glen Helen is pretty bizarre in its own right, but just by the way some of these little tight sections and roughness are, it's a little different than some of the other years. I definitely... Whoa. Dude, did I not do that same thing a while ago? I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm leaning a little too far back up that hill, trying to get too much power to the ground, bro. But yeah, it's... stock suspension, dude, it's not as bad as people think. I'm telling you. Like, I'll come into this roughness right here. Let's see. And I'm kind of in that supercross mode right now. That's what I was trying to explain a while ago. Is I'm in that supercross mode, so I'm not even used to hitting this roughness and crap right now. So it's it makes a big difference. Like, if I was to just sit here and race on these 2016 AMA replica motocross tracks for like a month straight, then I would be way faster just in general. And it's the same way with a supercross track. You know, you can't just go from this kind of track to that kind of track and expect to be wicked fast on all of it. It just doesn't... It's not that simple. You've got to kind of customize your brain to it a little bit. So that's just a little tip. But yeah, let's see if we can get it going on here. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. And I've been making some slight adjustments to my standard modified setup here lately. So that's making it a little weird as well. But see, I think a lot of people get it confused. Like, whenever I say you work hard in this game and you put in a lot of time, well, that's putting in time in every area. You know, you can't just go out there and play this game nonstop and then expect to wake up one day and go out there and win a main event. You've got to put time into the mental side of it. You got to get smarter at racing. You've got to get smarter at how to set up your bike for what you like. You know, there's a lot of different things that goes into it, but I just know if you work hard at it, then everything becomes easier. Like, setting up your bike becomes easier, because if you don't even have the talent and the skill on the bike, it's damn near impossible to set up the bike. You know what I mean? If you're not even going at that pace, it's hard to set up the bike for that pace. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just... You got to work hard at it, dude, in every asset of it. That's the important thing. It's not just, you can't just be good at any one thing. You've got to have a good setup for yourself that works good for you, that you've gotten really used to over a long period of time, and you've got to have a lot of talent and technique on the bike And you've got to have a lot of mental skill to make sure you're sharp whenever you are racing or whatever the case may be. And you got to be able to handle yourself for 20 laps of a main event or however long those freaking 30-minute plus 2-lap motos. I mean, people don't understand. That's a long time to be going wide open on this motherfucker. Like, people that have never rode a full pro race before, it's crazy, dude. Like, I mean, you'll be taking your hand off the controller in the middle of the air to let your hand rest. I'm not even kidding. It's funny because it's like real life motocross, you know, when people are taking their hand off the handlebars to let their hand rest or to pull a tear off or whatever. Well, you're basically doing the same thing in a pro race because you can't feel your hand, bro. I'm telling you, it's not a joke. Like, there is and people are going to think I sound crazy for saying this, but there's an actual, like, physically demanding part to these kind of games like this. I'm telling you, my thumbs get tore up like I'm riding a real dirt bike whenever I practice on this game a lot. You get calloused up thumbs, and it's crazy, dude. But that's the way it is. So, like, I mean, you can be the fastest dude in the world, but if you can't run it hot laps for 20 laps, you're not going to win. You know, you've got to be able to have not only the mental capacity to keep on your game for 20 laps without crashing, but you also got to have the physical ability where you've played it enough for that amount of time. You know, you've done enough 20-lap main events in your lifetime that you've basically, like, built up that muscle in your hand where it's not freezing your hand up. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's getting crazy and really deep into the game, but it's the truth. I can't tell you how many times in pro races where I would be like halfway through a moto or halfway through a main event, and I would crash, and it would be like, oh my gosh, finally I can rest my hands for like a split second, you know, because you're so intense. That's the difference in racing and just like screwing around on an online server. When you're actually doing a pro race, it puts another level of, like, I got to push it every second I'm on this track. You know what I'm saying? It puts a different level of that on you, so you're pushing your limit the whole entire time, and you got to be able to deal with the nerves of it too. I know that's another thing that people are not going to believe, but there's nerves with pro racing. It adds another level. Some people can't handle that. Some people can be the best racers in the world, and they can smoke everybody on 0.3, and they can run these crazy fast lap times, but when it comes down to doing it in a pro RF main event, they can't do it. They just can't do it for whatever reason. And that's something that happens in real life too, you know. You got to be good at every aspect of it. It's got to all come together. You can't just be good at any one part of it. Everything's got to be right. You know, you just got to have skill in every area. So, but yeah, you guys can see I'm just chilling, floating around the track. It ain't nothing too crazy. So anybody that says you can't get around one of these motocross tracks with stock suspension is an idiot, because I'm sitting here doing it. You can get around it. I'm not going crazy fast, but I'm mellow, dude. I'm just going around the track. Not worried, nothing crazy, but okay, so let's shut up for a half. Whoa. It'll definitely bounce a little more. I'm not going to sit here and lie and act like it doesn't, because that's just how you have your suspension set up. But okay, let me quit talking. Let me see if I can run a little bit of a hot section right here. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so you can see how I'm picking up the speed a little bit. Like, I was going a lot slower that whole time I was sitting there talking. See what I'm saying? Like, and this is with all this extra lag and everything. So don't look at my gameplay and think, oh, that's okay, Spencer's not that fast with stock suspension. It's not like that, dog. I can pick up the pace quite a bit. And it's just the focusing thing and being warmed up and all that plays a big part in everything too. You know what I'm saying? Like, just for advice wise, like if you're going out there trying to do a pro race or something, make sure you're warmed up. Make sure you're not like in a cold environment where your hands are going to freeze up. I mean, there's a lot of different little tips and techniques like that you'll learn. But yeah, man, it's basically stock suspension on Glen Helen. I don't know I didn't really have too much trouble on anything. I think I was bouncing just a little bit on some of that choppy bump roughness, but it's, I mean, like I was saying before, this year of Glen Helen is a bit tricky as it is anyways. I felt like the roughness was already a little bit bizarre. So me saying that's not that big of a deal, saying that I was getting a little bit of extra bounce. But anyways, I appreciate you watching all these videos. Later, dudes.